Hi, this is Sarah Voss. We've got another episode of Metro Musing for you today. I am the Director of Community and Neighborhood Development, and I have two people with me here today. I have Leanna Lowe, who is our Vice President of the Committee of Architecture, and Sandra Casaus, who is our COA, Committee of Architecture Supervisor. So thank you, ladies, for joining me today. We will be talking about Connex boxes. What are they? Why do people have them? And what should they look like in your backyard besides a big metal box? So we're gonna dig into the rules of Connex boxes. So we're gonna kick it off. I'm gonna start with Leanna. So Leanna, what are they? What are Connex boxes? Give us a little history about them.
Okay, they're standardized steel shipping containers which were created back in the 1950s. They were used to transport and store supplies during the Korean and the Vietnam Wars. Commercial shipping companies and the U.S. military needed a way to efficiently ship goods overseas and across the country while keeping them safe and allow for the movement of containers from one mode of transport to another, which included ship, rail, or truck without having to unload and reload the contents. So that's where they came from originally.
Okay, thank you. And Sandra, why are people using Connex boxes here in Pueblo West? Why are they on their properties? What are they typically using them for that you've been hearing?
A lot of people use them for storage. They claim that they're airtight and they keep their personal belongings free of dust and bugs and mice. I don't know how true that is, but they just tend to like those better than just a regular storage building.
Okay, thank you. And so, Leanna, what are the current rules? So what are people allowed to do with those Connex boxes? How are they allowed to look? Can they just stay like they are, a big shipping crates, or tell us what's allowed now?
Well, they have to follow all of the same rules that we have for any kind of storage building. It has to follow the setbacks, the colors, and actually they're not allowed in Pueblo West, and they're not actually allowed in the county. I went by the county code to see if they allowed those. In the county code for accessory structures states, no mobile home or trailer home structures, truck trailers, or railroad cars shall be utilized as accessory buildings except on parcels no less than 80 acres in size, which are also located in an agricultural zone district. So our covenants don't really specifically talk about Connex boxes, because back in the 60s when Pueblo West was being developed, nobody had them. So this is kind of new. And when it isn't specifically covered in our covenants, then we go by the county's codes. And so we have allowed them in industrial areas here, but not in residential ever. So this is all kind of something new that we're dealing with now.
Okay. And so describe what the resolution was passed to allow for Connex boxes to look like.
Do you want me to answer that one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So we adopted resolution 2020-1 because these have been popping up all over, and they're becoming a problem. So that people could have Connex boxes, but the application must be made for the accessory structure. The container must be concealed from view from all public right-of-ways. The container must be concealed from view within an accepted accessory structure. Application shall include clear and specific plans showing the design of the structure, including siding, modified roof, overhangs, gutters, paint, and doors, so as to conceal the unaesthetic design from its unimproved state. All modifications shall be completed with 3 months from the approval of plans. The COA reserves the right to prosecute through hearing or legal action any violation of these resolutions.
Great, thank you. That helps really describe that even if you have a Connex box on your property, that it really can't remain its original state as a big metal storage container, as we heard from the beginning. So Sandra, if I'm driving through the neighborhood and I see one, and it doesn't have the roof and the colors and it doesn't match the house, what do I do as a concerned neighbor to, notify the staff that there's somebody out there in violation? What are those steps that I need to take?
Most people will call in our office and make the complaint regarding there is a storage container on the property and ask if they are allowed. Of course, unless they come through us, then no. Or we have online complaint status thing on our website that you can go and state a complaint regarding the storage container itself.
Okay, so I can go on to pueblowest.com and there is a way to fill out a form with the address and the location so that our staff can follow up and look at it, take the pictures, send the violation notice to that homeowner to tell them they need to come into compliance. How many days is that person given to come into compliance then with that Connex box?
Well, once we send them a notice for the Connex box not being it is in violation, we give them 10 days to respond. If we don't hear anything back, then it goes to a hearing, and then they are given 30 days.
Okay.
They should have already come in.
Okay, so there is a process to notify the person to come into compliance. Otherwise, they have to come to a hearing in front of the Committee of Architecture to
Correct.
Talk about why they haven't fixed the problem and how they need to do that. So are there other solutions, Leanna, to Connex boxes? Can't people find other ways to store things? I think you had some research. Why don't you talk to us about that?
Yes. I know there's Cleary buildings. I wasn't able to get pricing on those, but I mean, they could build a pole barn. Those are pretty common. And I think the most popular sizes of the Connex boxes are either 20 foot or 40 foot. So I kind of did a little bit of research on the cost of a pole barn. A 20 by 30 runs anywhere from $4,000 to $12,000. A 30 by 40 is $8,000 to $20,000. From what I could find on the 20 to 40 foot shipping containers, they run $1,400 to $5,000. But you also have to figure there's a cost of delivery. There's materials, and there's all the labor and all of that to conceal it. So, they kind of average out to a regular accessory building. So they may want to take that into consideration before they go out and buy one of these, put it in their yard.
Great, thank you. So it doesn't seem like maybe on the front end, maybe a cost savings of a cheaper metal structure for storage, but after you have to modify it according to the resolution, you're still end up spending about the same amount of money, but you have to kind of adjust the look of something instead of just building it with the plan in mind to begin with. So thank you for that. I think there's other solutions out there is the point of that information. So Leanna, why is it important for people to follow our declarations of reservations? Why does it matter what a Connex box looks like and where it's on your property?
Well, we are in charge of a lot of the aesthetics of the neighborhoods, and when it becomes a nuisance or it's bringing down maybe the value of your neighbor's properties, then it's a problem, and then they are in violation. So that has a lot to do with it. Plus, where they place these things, a lot of times they're just in the front yard, and that's not allowed. So not even with a nice accessory building. So it is important that they follow the declaration of reservations and the rules. They're there for a purpose.
Right, perfect, thank you. So it sounds like if you're moving into a new home or you've already lived there a long time and you need some storage assistance, maybe a Connex box isn't the best idea or even the most affordable way to go like you might have thought. So instead, look into other options. You can fill out an application for an accessory structure through the Committee of Architecture, which you can find on our website. Go through the proper channels of approval and design, and you should be a lot better to go than waiting for that letter to show up in your mailbox or that phone call from your neighbor. So are there any final thoughts from Leanna or Sandra about Connex boxes?
I don't think so. I mean, I think we covered most of it.
Okay, well, I know we get a lot of calls about them, a lot of questions. So for more information, we'll be posting a link to our website again about the resolution for where and what you're allowed to do with those Connex boxes, but also the accessory structure application to go about it the right way. So thank you for joining us again on another episode of Metro Musings.